Okay, we're live. All right. Hi. How's it going? Today, interesting stream. We're gonna have a bit of a session. We're gonna have a bit of a real talk. I uh I think modern day, not enough of the Zoomers. Okay, maybe I'm a Zoomer. Am I a Zoomer? I think 27. So I think that's like right at the cutoff. Not a lot of the Zoomers get real talk, and I think today is a good day to get real talk. So let's talk about why you can't get a tech job. So it's gonna be a chill stream. It's gonna be. By the way, hi, I'm Jared. I been a software engineer for a bit for about 10 years now. I guess starting high school, getting internships and all that, and now I've done like contracting and full time, and I now have my own business, and I know a lot of the ways around it because I myself am self taught and was able to navigate that world of not like being fast tracked, I guess. But also, I will say it's a different market than it was 10 years ago, obviously. But we're going to talk about that. So, and this, I might rustle some feathers with the convo, but I'm just going to try to be as accurate as I possibly can. Um, realizing it. Flutter dev. Hey, what's up? Only ops guy. Oh, I just realized I gotta my screen. I gotta share my whole thing here. Yeah, it's probably fine. Maybe I'll go back and forth. You know what? I'll talk about some ideas first, and then I'll get into chat. Uh, and then I'll change my screen. Anyway, doesn't matter. No one cares. All right, let's talk about it. Also, afterwards, we'll code a little bit. We'll chill. For now, let's talk. So the I have an unfortunate reality right now, and because I think that often it's easy to make excuses, and it's easy to beat around the bush or to really want something and not look at the entire picture. I've done that, but the reality of the situation. And by the way, I'm going to explain what I mean. I'm not just trying to trigger you here, but the reason you can't get a tech job is you. And I don't mean that as you're bad. It's because your positioning's bad mostly, and you haven't made the right decisions here because it shouldn't be hard to get a job really. And I know it sounds like a dick thing, but I'm going to explain what I'm saying because it sounds like I'm being insensitive, and I get it. But I'm going to talk about some realities here. Let's talk about the realities. I like my sketch pad here. Let's talk about, like, let's say I'm going to go through some scenarios. So we have a scenario here. You just finished your boot camp or degree. You're a mini coder, 2x. You know, you're right at the moment where you feel like you're comfortable and you can do a job. You can be given some tasks and you can do the job, right? You're getting comfortable, right? This I've done the. I don't know why I like drawing like stick figures. I was a stick figure YouTube kid. I'll tell that story some other time. This is you, right? But it's true. It's like this is who you are. You know what I mean? This is who you are. The infrastructure, yeah, and you're bright eyed. You see, you're very happy. So like, but the problem is you go out after you're in a market in which you were trained to do certain things, to have certain knowledge, and you went out in the market and you grinded your lead code and you were rejected 1 billion. I why am I You were rejected a billion times. And like, yeah, and you could say, okay, everything's the market sucks and everything sucks. And that's true. The market does suck. But you should have stopped grinding lead code at some point. That's on you. If you applied to, like, people be like, I applied to 1,000 jobs. You should have not done that. I don't know what to tell you. I'm not gonna fucking like not sugarcoat it. That's not what I'm here for. A lot of people are gonna go around and be like, oh, uh, no, like it's fucking everyone like is has fair share or whatever. Like, oh, it's just the market's bad. It's not just the market is terrible, is not good for you. But it's not just that. You should have course corrected at some point. They shouldn't be a painful process. Okay. So, and a lot of people are gonna maybe not like hearing that, but this is real. And then you went from having that to being really upset, and just pretend like I didn't draw the happy eyebrows. You're very upset. Okay. And I can't draw. So just, and you're salivating because now you're feral and you're homeless. Okay. So why did this happen? Okay. And by the way, you need to own up to it. Okay. So here's some realities of the situation. Here's some realities. Let's talk about the reality situation. I'm not victim blaming. Okay. I'm being real. Some realities of the situation. Because I'm not just going to talk to I'm talking to you about this. So first we're going to talk about the reasons and the realities. And then we're going to talk about solutions. So I'm not just going to be like, you suck, you suck. We're talking about solutions. Relations? The fuck am I talking? Okay. So first thing, there is obviously an oversupply in software developers at certain, I got to do a big asterisk here, at certain verticals. Like a vertical is in like a specific subdomain. I'll say subdomains. Maybe that'll be, I think people get verticals. People get verticals. The I think we all get verticals here. I think we get it. Dude, I can't, why can I ever format this thing? Everyone feeling okay? Everyone feeling good? Okay, there's obviously an oversupply of software developers in front end. Let's say front end. Obviously, okay? There's obviously enough people that know JavaScript. I hope that, like, not trying to be a dick, but I hope that that's very clear here. Okay. So that's a reality of the situation. So if you are, this is really, really important, really important. And by the way, there's solutions here. You can get a tech job. I'm just explaining some realities here. So if you are, oh, I'm not selling a course. If I would sell you a course, I'd say, hey, go subscribe to JavaScript, Jared JavaScript Talks at Jared JavaScript Talks 101. I'll teach you how to be 10x JavaScript. And I will teach, and I do obviously teach JavaScript and Python and all that, but you're not going to just, it's not just simply about knowing things. That's a big important part of what I'm talking about right now. Is a lot of this is about providing a service. When I say it's not about you, I'm going to get into that in a second. Because it isn't about, because the solution is that it's not about you. That's the solution. We're here to solve problems. Okay. So I have some notes here. So, oh yeah, okay. So if you are a front end or even a junior in a lot of regards, you're not needed. It's a supply and demand issue. There's a lot of people ushered in to that know very specific technologies. A lot of these people are not needed in the market. You could say that's not true. I see tons of open JavaScript positions. Okay, well, I'll say this. If you were needed by simply knowing JavaScript, it would not be hard to get a job. Like that's pretty obvious. Like maybe I shouldn't say it's obvious. I sound like a fucking asshole saying that, but it's like I really want to stress this point right here. Like, hold on. So I really want to stress this point right here. Like the whole thing bolds when you bold the whole section, whatever. I should get a different sketch thing. So like because you could say, oh, there's all these open positions for JavaScript, but it's so hard to get it. It must be me. It must be me. It's not like it's you, but it's because you're positioning yourself poorly. Like it's like if simply knowing JavaScript and being good at JavaScript was enough to get a job, you would have had a job by now. Like if that was a needed thing, if this was a thing that was in demand, you would have a job. Because the thing about markets are, sorry, I'm not trying to be a dick, but it's like if something's in demand, it's not difficult to provide value in the market to do this thing. You understand? Like it's not like you can't out leak code the fucking market, okay? But you can get good and you can position yourself well. And you need to like not just throw off like keep doing the same thing over like don't just apply to 100 jobs. Like if there comes a point where that's a you problem. Does everyone get what I'm saying? Jared JavaScripts. Yeah, web dev is definitely oversaturated. By the way, I'm gonna get into chat in a sec. I'm just trying to I realize I share my screen poorly. All right, so very big important point here. You can't out grind supply and demand. Supply and demand is a macroeconomic issue. You at an individual level can't really do anything about that unless you innovate the market. Like if you build a business that changes the supply and demand, like yeah, but that takes time and investment and work and and that's not really like a viable solution for you. But you can't out like supply and demand is just happening in the market. And but like you can position yourself towards demand or you could not. You know what I mean? It's like that like it's you. You understand? Like you can do that. No one's gonna do that for you. No one's gonna like position yourself to be successful. By the way, you can ask a question because I'm gonna talk about in the chat about anything. I'm gonna stream and like talk about stuff after this. We're gonna get set. So right now we're talking about business. Okay, talking about business. We'll talk about we'll have fun later. But now we're talking about why you suck. um, you don't suck. Don't be hard on yourself though about any of this. It's you have to take care of yourself first in life. Okay. So here's another reality. You're probably in the wrong vertical. And by the way, I'm only talking about this because I've dealt with this. Like I know these are things that I dealt with in this year, and I'll talk about that very quickly. You're probably in the wrong vertical. You're probably in a subdomain, whether it's web dev or it could even like a lot of back-end API devs are like, it's kind of hard to get a job because frankly, like if your focus is on a framework and technology, it's pretty easy to get oversaturated. That's why if you are going to do that, I always stress you have to find a niche and you have to really be in the community of the niche, which is another thing we're going to talk about. So that's the realities. That's the realities. But there's things you can do. There's things you can do. I want to keep this shit here. Stuff. Okay. You were a billion times reject. Okay. Feel 10x yet? By the way, I'm not trying to trigger anybody. This is literally, you need to hear this. You need to hear this. So like this is this is some shit that this is for the real bros. This stream right here. This is not for the weak heart. Okay, so it's solutions. Oh yeah. The one last big reality is that it's the whole point of the video. It's not about you. You're the problem, but it's also not about you. You ever be in a situation where it's not about you, and that's the problem. You get it, right? So what I mean when I say it's not about you is what I mean to say is like when you're trying to do something and it isn't working and you're trying and you're trying and you're trying, it's often because you're not really looking outside yourself. And I'm not trying to get philosophical or anything. I'm talking, this is very uh, useful information when it comes to providing a service to people and being valuable and having to be in a situation where you don't have to seek a ton and you don't have to like push a ton and be like needy. And I come from this position of someone who's I've never had a hard time looking for work, really. I've made sacrifices. I've been like, I won't do this type of job because I want to do this type of job. And maybe like sacrificed because or like didn't want to do a job and then that was high paying and then got a lower pay. Like I've done things like that. But I've never had a hard time finding work. And it's mostly because I'm always trying to think about where I can provide a lot of service and be very and position myself to be very needed. So it's about so the solution is you have to find value and be of service. And I know that that sounds hokey, but it has a really important, it's really important because it's something you can do. So it's like you have to think a little more like an entrepreneur. Because an entrepreneur, I know it's hard because you're an engineer. So it's like, you're like, how? No, I don't do that. I don't sell. Okay. But it's not about selling, it's about finding value. It's like, because there are actually a lot of web dev jobs you can get right now. A lot of it isn't at like mid to large sized software companies, like tech type companies. There are in a lot of early stage startups, and there are in a lot of businesses that need storefronts and shit. And but you have to like talk to business owners to know things like that. You have to sort of, when I talk about networking, I'm really talking about is position yourself towards decision makers more. So you got to think a little more like an entrepreneur. It's like, where do people genuinely need code? Think, spend like an hour thinking about who, and not just code, but like who needs DevOps and like I guess like infra is kind of the same, but you get it. Like who needs DevOps? Who needs like systems shit? You know, like think about who needs that. Think about what types of businesses, types of people need that. Where do they go? You know what I mean? Like this past year, I've like because I my whole life have been doing web dev and lots of full stack, lots of front end, lots of back end, lots of building APIs, coming in, building Chrome extensions, building desktop apps, just a lot of like software development stuff. And I still do that, but made a lot this past year. I've made a lot of money building, or I'm not gonna say I made a lot. I'm not gonna. I'm not trying to fucking like. I'm saying like I've been able to uh, like move resources from that to something else, and it's a lot of AI shit. And a lot of the ways I've been able to do that is because I saw that my positioning was off, and I was like, okay, there's obviously a ton of people that need AI and that are going to be very bad at it. Because that's the thing is that when you look at the macroeconomics of something, you could say, oh, a ton of people are shifting towards this thing, and it's engineering related, and they're building stuff. So if a ton of people are building new things, then obviously there's going to be issues. So it's like I tried to meet a lot of I would network, go to Philly, meet a lot of people that would need AI, you know. And this is before I even like was knowing a lot about it. And then I would or knew a lot about it. And then I would this is more like the past 2 years, I guess. It's not really it's like a year and a half, 2 years. But it's like I talked to a lot of people that would need decisions based on it. And as I was doing that, I was learning a ton. I was spending I took a pay cut to spend like 6 months really just reading white papers, learning about fucking linear algebra, things that I never cared about. And then I could speak the language, and then now I can talk to decision makers about problems they have, like business owners and stuff, and be like, "Oh, is AI genuinely gonna like? Do you genuinely need like an LLM for this? Do you need like what do you, or could you use a basic classifier? You know, which is a big problem. Part of the reason why I do those fine tuning videos is because that was the thing I figured out. I'm like, oh, it turns out a ton of people are gonna be wasting a lot of money on OpenAI uh, keys, and they really can just use a small model and fine tune it for what their need. That's all of that. I wasn't doing AI for years or whatever. Like I've been doing Python for years, you know. I've been doing JavaScript for years, PHP and shit like that. But it's like I applied a lot of the knowledge of how to find value, which is how I got into this anyway, to something else. And what I'm saying is you have to think bigger about what's going on. You got to think like, where do people need a service, and position yourself for that. It's like right now, a lot of people are building stuff. A lot of people are building AI stuff. You could say it's a GPT wrapper companies, but I see a lot of people doing other stuff too. A lot of more complicated, complex things. Who's going to build it? I'm going to build it because I positioned myself for it. You get what I'm saying? Like, and I have a company to do it now. You have to like be position. You have to be someone that's thinking ahead. So there's another part of it. Why can I? Oh, okay, create your job. Be of service. One of the most jobs, because I feel like most jobs that really are Teflon when it comes to the market are jobs where it's very much based on your ability with your brain and your hands. It's very a bit performance oriented. And when there's a lot of performance oriented jobs, you can start to create your job. You can kind of like if you do all the stuff I just said of finding value, you can kind of be like, well, like let's say you're a plumber and you figure out there's some sort of like on most houses you work on, there's some sort of pipe that they use that's like outdated and no one really knows how to fix it except like 10 guys. And you could then be like, oh, I'm gonna suit, what's it called? I'm gonna have a premium in which I do that, and then that premium is gonna be an extra $1,000 or whatever. It's like you're using your experience to sort of create a job here because people may eventually hire you to do that. And the same thing goes for this. It's like try to really look at the patterns of what's going on and create your value here. So the basic principle, the so you think Will, I'm gonna get to that in a sec. Yeah, definitely everyone ask questions here because I'm gonna get that's really good point. So like but you know what, just to be very clear. I think I'm saying a lot of stuff. Let's boil it down to be very clear. Tomorrow, I'll hold you to it. Tomorrow, go and talk to 5 tech company business owners. And you don't have to, by the way, you don't have to like do that. You could do one, but I mean like be on the journey to do that. Like think, how would you do that? I'm not saying you have to do all 5 tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Try to. Like, how can I possibly do that? How can I possibly do that? That's insane. Well, 15-year-old Jared didn't think it was insane. Me and my buddy, uh, and it was his idea actually. He's the genius, right? We were like coders, right? We were like mini coders, 2x. And we went into Philly, and it's so funny thinking about it. I'm like, we're such fucking dorks. We were like, well, everyone else was having fun. We're like, we got to get software jobs. But I was like, I need to be independent, you know? So we went to these what's it called? Mixer events and startup pitch to pitch events where like people would go and pitch and then they'd go to some restaurant or bar after and talk. And we're like children. And we're like going here, we're being like, hey, like we need internships. And that's and doing stuff like that, I was able to see like that's how a lot of value, like you get a lot of value just trying to talk to decision makers. So it's like this is a good way to put it because this is a supply and demand issue. You need to go to where there's a demand. You need to position yourself to where there's the demand. Limited supply, high demand. Even if there's a big supply, there's a demand. Because sometimes things don't, the puzzle pieces don't mix together, right? It's like there can be a lot of supply of something, but there's just no one has made the connection, right? Which is a thing now, actually, right now. A lot of you guys actually can fill jobs, but like you don't know how to find them. You know what I mean? But like, so when you need to go to where demand is. Like, if you're talking to people that have like, and this is big talk. Go to where try to talk to people that have investment funds or just big business or whatever. But in this space, it's easier if you just talk to people that have VC money. Go to these people and talk to them. Like try to be, and you don't even have to talk to them. Literally just be at an event that's like this. And if you're not in an ability to do that, try to go online and and go to like this. I know there's like virtual events and things like that. And I know that you can even like reach out to people on LinkedIn and just be like, hey man, like if they're content creators or whatever, be like, hey man, I need like advice, you know. But if you live in a major city in America, this is not something that you can. You can absolutely do this. This is not something you can get out of. You can absolutely do this. There's events in every major city. But yeah, so overall, that's it. Find, like, be of service. Okay? It's not about you. It's not about what you want, it's about what the business wants. And I know that sounds like I'm fucking sounds like I came in, I'm like your manager or whatever, and I came in and I'm fucking talking down to you or whatever. But it's true. It's true. It's true. It's like it's not like it's true. And I know that, like, it sucks to hear sometimes, but it really is about, like, what a business would want. And you have to think in terms of that. Like, it's not really about you. You like there's so many industries that have been decimated that people like doing the work. Like, it's not it doesn't that doesn't matter, right? So you have to be of service. You have to be grateful too. You have to be very grateful once you do get something that you enjoy and that is a good job. You'd be very grateful. Like, it's about how you can be of service and ask people, like, what do you need? Literally, like because I won't even see people do this. It's like people will complain about not getting a job. It's like, have you like I haven't seen anyone post videos or post content or be like, hey, like, what do businesses need? Like, what do you guys need right now? I haven't seen that. It's like a basic thing when it comes to, like, entrepreneurship, and when it comes to, like, and it may seem old school, but it's like old school is the new school. Old school is the new school. Jared, what was your favorite job? Uh, what was my favorite job? Let's see. Probably right now. Probably, I think right now is my favorite job. Hey, what's up, Abhinav? What's up, Michael Turner? Now we're chilling. So I got through all of it. I got through all of it. We ripped the band-aid off. Okay. We ripped the band-aid off. Now we're chilling. I'm gonna code a little bit. I'm doing my super web scraper. So the basic principle: update your skills to where the market is headed. No, no, Eric. No, no. No, because and the reason why I'm saying no in a hard way is because because that's the engineer mind. It's that you're just thinking about the skills. So, like, a lot of people, you're gonna try to match the studying for your algebra final. Nice, crush it, kill it. Algebra is very important. No, but here's Eric. The reason why that's not really true is is because the engineer mind is you just want to, like, know all the things. So it's not just about what you know. There's a difference between the things you know and your ability to get a job or make money. There really is. I know it's like that sucks, but it's like the I would say more so change the way you're thinking, not you specifically, but for anyone who's having trouble getting a job, change the way you're thinking away from, like, I need to get a job, to how do I provide a service to these businesses? Like, what service does a tech startup need and how do I fill it? Like, a lot of these tech startups need DevOps people. They need people who can do infra, and they need a lot of people who need AWS. A lot of people don't know AWS, truly. They need a lot of people and I'm even one of these, like, idiots who's like, hey, like, yeah, I could set up a Docker, but, like, you want me to scale past like 5 people? What the fuck? I mean, I could, but you get what I'm saying. It's like everyone, you're like, don't chase because often people chase where the market's heading based on job applicant or job descriptions. It's not about job descriptions. The job descriptions, that's you're like eating shit and being like, man, that was really good like prime rib steak. You get what I'm saying? Like, you're not, like, you're so far behind. Like, you're like that dude ate that 10 hours ago. So it's not about looking at the job applications or like the job postings. You really need to get to the source. You need to talk to exactly what I'm saying here. You need to talk to decision makers. Like, no more founders. I'm actually going to make it super clear. No more founders. That's it. Also, founders are people that can get money and investment. So they're going to be starting things, and you have no idea how many people that work at early stage startups are like can barely code, but they're just like friends of friends that were easy to get, that were available. Be available to decision makers. You know what I mean? See, I know Will said something. You think the largest reason people can't get jobs because they hold themselves to a lower standard than what is needed by employers? Yeah, that is a big thing. That's a big thing. I'm not so much talking about that because it's like, what am I going to say? Try harder or whatever. But that is a big thing. A lot of people do the bare minimum, but whether you're doing the bare minimum or you're really working hard, that's not going to change the supply and demand. The macroeconomics are what's killing you right now. And it's and you should have seen it. Not you. I'm not like talking to anyone specifically, but it's like because all like I had a few months ago or before the streaming, so like last spring, I was doing a lot of in like winter and spring, I was doing a lot of mentoring, and I would like mentor people on how to get jobs, and I'd teach people on boot camps. So I've seen like, I mean, there had to be like over 100 or so people that I was like helping out because it'd be like every week on Wizant. I'd like mentor, teach people JavaScript and stuff. And it was like flexible so I could learn all this shit. Like I could read my white papers, but it's not great money though. it's not it's not that fun. I was missing that fucking tech money though. That's okay though. We're back. But yeah, so like but when I was doing that, I was seeing people and they were like, "Oh, I applied." Like one guy was like, "I applied to 500 jobs." He like got went to a boot camp. He was like, "I applied to 500 jobs." And it was like I was helping him out with like interview, and he was like, "I heard back from like two, and like I got like one interview, and I did really bad at it." And I was just like, "Dude, you're not doing it right, obviously." Okay, if I applied to 10 jobs and I don't hear back, something's changing. like and I know maybe that's a high bar or whatever, but it's like, so you apply to like 500 jobs, dude. Like if I applied to 50 jobs and I didn't hear anything from anyone, like people will say crazy numbers. They'll be like, I applied to like 1,000. I applied to, dude. If I applied to 50 jobs, and I don't hear back, I'm changing something. Something sucks. There's no way I'm getting to over 100 like jobs in terms of applying, and I'm not, and I don't hear back. I'm not like, obviously something's fucked up. So it's like you can say, "Oh, I could fix the resume." It's most likely not even the resume. Anyone who's like anyone who's selling you something about, oh, it's funny, Abhinav, you just asked me about how to orient. Am I covering that? You just asked me about, hold on a sec. I gotta change my screen. I just realized I'm covering the chat. 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. So like I have my notes here. My little notes. So like actually let me, so like it's so funny you just asked me about that. This is a perfect setup. I get to see this and then I get to see this. So Abhinav's like, Jared, talk about how to orient our resume around the company. Dude, that's not the problem. A lot of people this is big reality, big reality check. This is like the earlier you know this, the better. People will look at like things that are not about about the things that you're pruning in your resume when they look at the resume, and then they're like, boom, go, boom, go. It'll be like, oh, didn't have a CS degree, go. A lot of companies are like that because they'll look at like, uh, oh, this guy, like for instance, like this guy has a lot of stars on his GitHub or whatever. He's good, you know. Like they'll look at like a basic thing, or they'll look at like oh, this guy has 10 years. This guy has 10 years of experience. Oh, I know he worked at Google. Like if they see you worked at Google, like you're probably getting an interview. You see, if they recognize the company you worked at, you're probably getting an interview. And if it wasn't like fucking like you didn't work at like sluts.com or something, or you didn't work at some like insane company. But like don't look at, I don't think that's a real website. But like they'll literally just be like, oh, he's like, oh, went to Stanford. Oh, fucking, like they look at like big markers. That's it. You can't out fuck like resumes. What I suggest, resumes do matter, but what I suggest is like try to make your resume like kind of talk, like kind of nerd out on it if you're an engineer, um about your projects, and talk about the years you know things. So like if they're talking to a guy at a, like if engine, like think about what engineers like. The yeah, I'll tell you right now. So it's like think about what engineers would like when they look at a resume. Like if I'm like hiring and I see a, and I know this from working with other engineers, if you see like some guy out of college and he's clearly been coding for since he was like a 14 or something, and he has like all these projects on GitHub that are real, and he talks about them, and he like actually like no, like clearly has been coding like outside of just doing his coursework. That's gonna be a thing people will look at as a marker. 100%. Think about like if someone was a, because the boot camps fucked all of you guys up, because, and I don't mean like I don't even mean they miseducated, but what I mean is they made it so they gamified it too much. So everyone's GitHub looks ridiculous now. Everyone's GitHub has like, dude, I can look at a GitHub and be like, he didn't make any of these projects. Like actually, these are all just bootcamp projects. I can see, I'd be like, oh, he did, oh, cool. He did like like a chat app here, chat. It's like you know what I'm saying? So like really think about like, is this a like talk about the project, talk about this, like you made this thing with your friends or you made this for this person, like really talk about your project and why you did it. That comes out 100%. The boot camps, like dude, the boot camps destroyed everything. Boot camps suck. I'm sure there's some boot camps that are good out there. Dude, boot camps destroyed everyone's fucking market value. That's like that started coding after 2020. If you started coding after 2020, I'm sorry, because boot camps. You know what? The real reason you can't get a tech job is you, and also boot camps. It's you. You got to hold yourself accountable, but you can't just blame other things. But it's also boot camps. It's you, but it's also boot camps. Because it's like, dude, boot camps just fucking they taught a ton of people poorly, threw them at the market, and now no one wants to hire anyone new. It's so funny. Jared, do you do consulting? I managed to convince the chairman of a real estate firm to let me build them an LLM application to help write valuation docs, but I'm new to code and I'm thoroughly stuck. Yeah, I do consulting. Yeah, that's my business I just started. Yeah. But But yeah, it's true though. It's true, dude. Boot camps fucked everyone up. It's not a consulting, like we build things. The goal of Just Ask, my startup, is we will be the best builders. And we have a lot of contracts now, which is nice. It's nice. The YouTube helps. Make content too. Now's the time to make content and build. Oh, but like also start your own company. Fuck it. Right? If you're a young guy, why aren't you starting your own business? It's the only time to, and I get it, if you don't have any interest in that at all, totally understand. Completely understand. But you might be surprised how easy it is to own something and still work a job when it comes to like the asset of it. Because a lot of times I know a lot of people that were able to own a agency or own a service business. Just we'll just use that umbrella. I know a lot of people that are able to own a service business and work full time and crush, or own a SaaS company, or own like. I started self teaching in 2020 and have no real project aside from a shitty web script in Selenium, and I'm barely into my CS degree. Oh well, dude, you're in a CS degree. A lot of people are having a tough time that have CS degrees, and they're in the same situation right now. I learned most of the best practices in coding, etc., from 100 to 200 view videos on YouTube that no one is aware of. The real value cannot compete with the garbage. Yeah. Well, because like, dude, it's so funny. Like, there were like no coding videos when I first started learning on YouTube. There was like the new Boston. He was like the only guy doing it. And it's so funny. There's all this content now. But it's like I see all the content and I'm because like people be like, "Oh, Jim, make one of those fucking like, hi, I'm gonna teach you like the top 5 JavaScript functions to use or whatever." And it's like I would probably shoot myself if I made one of those. Honestly, like I wouldn't fucking kill myself. If I made one of those videos and I was all like, you could just tell that I like oiled up. You're like, dude, I would just like, it's like, okay, cool. Like, it's like, it's for me, it's like, so, like, for the people making those videos, I'm like, and it's fine to make those videos, but I'm like, if you make those videos now, or at least like in the past 2 years, you know that like all that content's out there. That's why they use the clickbait, by the way. Because like that's because they need to get you in because it's not like actually valuable content for a lot of it. Amount of bad content out there is so harmful. Yeah, it's so harmful, dude. Hey Reed, what's up? Full stack Next.js 12 application with OpenAI, the modern age cancer. Dude, there's no one is really, I haven't seen any business with that stack. I haven't seen a business that's profiting from implementing OpenAI, by the way. I haven't seen that happen yet. I've seen people think it's ridiculous or lose a ton of money because of data. Maybe I shouldn't say too much about that, but like, I know situations. Fuck it. I know situations where like data scientists will like not know how to engineer, so they'll just throw shit at like OpenAI, and the company will like spend thousands and thousands. I think if generated content will make it worse. Yeah, dude, generated content sucks. No, but if you want to like scheme your way into, like, don't see it like. My whole thing is like, don't see it as you can do whatever you want, but I'm giving advice in the video, so it's like, don't like see this as like I need to get a job really. And I know that sounds funny, but think of it as I need to provide a service somewhere somehow, because that's how you feed yourself. You have to be of service, and you can do that through a business. You do that consulting somewhere. because a lot of your skill you can be doing. If you truly have skill, you can do it in a lot of ways. You can do it, someone can hire you to do it. You can have your own company and do your own sales, right? Or you can have be like a staff in a staffing situation. You can do it for free. You could volunteer to do it in exchange for something else. You could say, I will build this for equity, you know? But it's about like finding the value, you know, and then you can set your terms. The amount of TikToks I've seen talking about landing a front end FAANG job in 6 months is crazy, dude. It's they're scamming you. I will say I've written an article a year or 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, that was about how to become a self-taught developer in 6 months. And that's still a fucking, someone find that, please, because that is the only good article. That's why I wrote it. Reddit they read it and they a lot of them got mad, but a lot of them enjoyed it because I literally say all the shit I'm saying here. And I'm like, why didn't you guys listen to me? Why didn't you guys fucking listen to me? Like, network, talk to business owners, post your projects online, talk to more engineers, interface with people. You can't, the FAANG job in 6 months doesn't make any sense, obviously, but you can be paid to code in 6 months. You just have to be smart about it. I've seen people do it, many people do it, but they don't, you know what they don't do? They don't work against the market. They don't, where did I say it? Like, they find a vertical that makes it so they're not pushing against supply and demand metrics. So they're like making money as like a rust, or like they're making money doing an embedded system somewhere. You know what I mean? What is your take on low code, no code tools for UI design? Dude, I have a recent low code, no code story. So like in a project I'm working on now, the person was like, "Oh, dude, you could probably get this done faster if you do fucking no code." And I was like, "Okay, I don't care. I'm still getting paid." And I was using it, and then the dude's cool, so I was like, "Yeah, I'll take his I'll like, you know, he already set up half the stuff in this. I won't say the tool because I don't want to shit on the tool, but man, it was like so overly complicated. And I was like, dude, like for what you want to build here, like this, like for you're not going to be able to manage this. Like you're going to have to hire someone that's this no code specialist. So it's the same thing." And I was like I was like, and by the way, I'm not anti no code at all. But if you want to do anything that has proprietary value, you probably need an engineer. I'm not just that's not a cope also because I that's what I do. It's just if you're doing anything that's if you find you need to hire someone to build something, if you're listening and you're need to hire someone to build something for you, just trust what they do. And the dude was like, "All right, man, like you do whatever you want." And I built the thing in like a day, or not a day, but like a couple of days. And it's like, dude, like if you feel like you need to hire someone to do something, but you're like, "Oh, this is for all the non-technical people." And you're like, if you can't do something in a no-code solution right now that you know of, highly suggest you just get the engineer to build it in whatever they think is good. You find someone you trust and have them build it quickly in something they want to do so you can iterate quickly. Because these no code things, once it becomes more than like a basic CRUD app, you're in a situation. And dude, the thing I was using was like very high quality. I was like, fuck, this is like, they have like all these plugins. And I was like, this is the hardest thing I've ever done. It was like the most basic. You've seen me do it on the streams, like what I was trying to do. My end goal is to at least, by the way, real quick about the low code, no code. Coding isn't the hard part of coding. The hard part is the system is managing a system, and it's in that type of thinking is an engineer does. So you're not going to get away from that. Like the no code, there's people that are like WordPress kind of no code adjacent developers or like Dreamweaver people that are just engineers. They just have a different tool. No one's gonna fucking go in Dreamweaver. No one's gonna do that. You think the market people want to go into do people even use Dreamweaver? No one's gonna go into your WordPress plugin and do anything. They're gonna hire a WordPress guy. Dude, it's the same thing. My last thought on the low code, no code thing is the best low code, no code tools are ones that help engineers. That's it. This fantasy world where we're gonna have like some guy that likes sales using no code tools to build, it's not gonna happen. Because they wouldn't like they're not you need a systems thinking and they don't have that. So it's like why it doesn't my end goal is Reed called you out. So this is Michael. My end goal is to at least attempt to build my own product. That's why I started learning. Getting a job was my first thought, but tech moves quick and most companies working on things I had in mind. That's me too. I actually didn't even learn. I learned coding because I wanted to like hack stuff. Like I had no interest in getting a tech job. And then I wanted to start business. I got really into entrepreneurship in high school and I wanted to get into business. And then I was like, oh shit, like this thing I know is valuable. When I learned Python as a kid, I had no idea I had no money thoughts at all and then when I was like 14, I was like, I can get paid for this, like 15. And then I was like, oh, I could like start a company. I could like build some stuff. I'm building my APIs, generating the value to my business, but for UI design that are not even that complicated, be overwhelming for devs having no desire, interest, or experience in front end stuff. Yeah, UI design has always been something that is no code, low code, 100%. Yeah, by the way, I'm not saying you can't. I'm not saying if you're non-technical, I'm not saying there's no code thing. I'm saying, yeah, that's what I'm saying. The Ghost is a machine is that no code is still programming. That's all I'm saying. But like if you're non-technical and you feel you wanna like think less about programming or you want to think less about like coding and you want to like do that, then that's great. Like if you want to do a simpler programming tool, if you want to use a simpler I can't fucking talk today. If you want to use a simpler programming tool than Python, then use no code, right? Obviously. But it's not gonna the best no code is to assist an engineer. Some non-technical founders don't know that they're also kind of engineers. So they'll be like, "Oh, I did like I'll talk to like some dude that like started that like sold his company and he's like, "Yeah, dude, I did it all no code." I'm like, "Dude, you're like a good engineer. You and I can immediately when I talk to someone for a second, I can tell if they're a good engineer." And some of these people will be like, "Nah, I'm just like a marketer. Like I'm not like." I'm like, "Dude, you literally built this." Just because you didn't code doesn't mean oh yeah, we're doing schemology tomorrow. I totally forgot to tell the chat that. Yeah, we're doing schemology tomorrow. Yeah, if anyone's interested, typically Tuesday nights, me and my buddy do a podcast, but we're doing it tomorrow. How do we connect with owners of tech companies? They wouldn't give us their time. What do you mean they wouldn't get? No, they literally do. Don't see yourself as different than anyone. So it's like there's not like it's all Steve Jobs said this where it's like the world is kind of like a canvas, and like you're kind of like painting, like you can kind of erase stuff and like paint your own shit here. I butchered that, but you get the vibe of what he's saying. He's saying like you like there's no like part of why I am a founder and talk to other founders and my whole life have been around people that own tech company or at least adult life is because I always thought of myself as like I never thought of myself. I always thought of myself as someone that would own a business. Like I didn't like it was all mental. You know what I mean? Like it's not like yeah, if the poke the ball something moves, yeah, exactly. Like you can this it's not like oh tech owners won't give you their time. It's like you're a guy just like that guy's a guy. It's like the and when you think that way, all of a sudden you're just in rooms that like really the types of rooms you're in is just all mental. It's like, yeah, if you believe you're an owner, then you'll be around more owner type people because you guys will vibe more. And if you live in a near an American city, I know for a fact founders go to events all the time because that's how they network. Because like successful founders are all about networking and they're all about meeting people. But it's like you'll like and I remember because I did for like a few months go to college, and I remember because I wanted to have the dorm experience for a little bit, and I told my dad I was gonna not go, and then he was like, "Oh, you should like get that experience," and he was right. He's like, and I networked a ton, and still had a lot of friends from that time. But like the one thing I did at that time is I'd take all the CS kids, and I was helping run the hackathon there too, and I'd be like, "Hey guys, let's go to like an event. Let's go talk to some businesses." Because like the school was worked in a way where everyone had to get internships, but I thought I was like, I already fucking I had two internships already, like in high school, and I was like, I don't fucking need that shit. But I'm gonna help people get it. And I was like, guys, let's go to events. And I would show people. I'd be like, hey, you go to an event. I was like, let's go to the city. You talk to people, And I saw people start companies and like do businesses and and get jobs. And it was mostly because the mental shift came. Because you can like, because the world is a canvas. It is. It's a playground. That's the way I remember I would say that to my buddy back then. I was like, the world's kind of a playground. It is. Uh I never did a crypto or trading SaaS project. That sounds like horrifying. Um Idolatry is the problem. Yeah, yeah. No false idols. Jared, dude, Jack, where have you been? Jack, is this the first time you're commenting? If you don't know Jack, Jack's he owns the VC firm. I can't even fucking say it. You're such a fucking idiot, Jack. Uh no, Jack's he's a troll on LinkedIn. All right, so yeah, he owns I can't even dude, like Jabroni Capital so ridiculous. No, look up Jabroni Capital for real. You'll get some laughs. My buddy Jack is in the chat right now. He's been trolling people for on LinkedIn as a guy owning this VC firm, and it's pretty fucking funny. So you worked on it's yeah, he's crushing. Yeah, guys, Jack is a perfect example of how you create value because it's like that started a new vertical for him. All good, I'm a basic bitch. The tech dorks need to be made fun of. Let's see. Society has done a great job at tricking people into thinking they can't do shit. Dude, exactly. It's the iron cage stuff I was telling you about. We don't have to get into that. Like, look at my last stream. I talked about it a little bit near the end, but like you're everything's rationalized in your life. That's bureaucracy. So you're like, I go to my job. It's like my value is because I do my job. And it's like, and everything just becomes rationalized. And it's not because of you have any particular meaning from it. And eventually you're just a cog in the machine. And it sucks. But yeah, dude, if I did crypto, I'd probably kill myself. Like if I actually did a crypto project, I think I'd kill myself. Fuck. No, like if I actually like had to tell my son, my future son, I'll have like 20 sons. So I'm just kidding. But like if I was like, hey, he's like, Daddy, what do you do? And I'm like, oh, and I like look away, I like play with something. And he's like, you okay? And I'm like, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. What was that? And he's like, what do you do for work? You know, my friend Timmy, his dad's a firefighter. His dad's a cop. What do you do? And I'm like, I do crypto. He's like, what? The thing that enslaves us? Like, he'll look up. There's like a big sign that says like Bitcoin Bros, and it's like fucking a skyscraper that's like 1,000,000 miles high. He's like, the overlords. I'm like, yeah. If we announce a crypto, Jared, people will know we started heroin and we'll be dead in 3 months. They'll know that we're just fucking with them. I couldn't possibly make money on crypto. He'd be like, and I'll be like, yeah, and that's why we have slaves. And I brought it back. Back to what really matters is don't be a slave. Don't think it's don't think like a slave. See, this is where you get the real talk. You're not gonna get this on these other YouTubers. These other YouTubers are like, let's look at a fucking YouTube video. Jesus Christ. Let's look at a fucking YouTube video. Because these people are like not like they're not giving you the right advice. They're telling you like crazy shit. Let's look at a fucking YouTube video. Jared, I feel the ChatGPT is spoiling me because for every little thing I'm using, ChatGPT is crazy, even little things like writing email. Yeah, the other YouTubers can't talk about Fresh and Fit. Now they talk about stuff. So here, oh yeah, the dinks. You guys know about dinks? What was I just looking up like 5 seconds ago? I have ADD, probably. What was I looking up? Oh yeah, 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 yeah. How to get a job. So I'm how to get a job in tech. So with no experience. So I'm gonna act like I'm like first day at life. You know what this search query is? I just woke up out of a coma for 10 years. And then I go and I search how to get a job in tech with no experience. Tips from a top tech recruiter. So here we have the blonde girl. How many blonde girls are in the chat? 0. That's not the demographic. So you see how you're being marketed to here? No one's going to tell you about this. Because real quick, let's actually go back. Let's go back. I'm not saying there's no blonde girls that code, but obviously it's like 0.01%. That's not a software engineer. I don't know her specifically, not trying to be a dick. This is called marketing. You understand? It's like first day out of the coma, 10 years, you search how to get a job in tech. You're like, oh, blonde lady. Oh, cute blonde lady. Click on no, no, no. They're marketing to you because you're a guy. I know my demographics. You're an 18 to 24 male, most likely, at least on the recent videos, or 25, 18 to 35 male. You're in your 20s, okay? So you click on this and you're like, oh, in tech, there's girls. So she says, I don't think anyone's going to hear this. So she's like talking about how she broke into tech. I don't know. It doesn't matter. She's going to talk about stuff that's not relevant to you. And by the way, I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm being real. Okay. You're not going to get this anywhere else. Where else are you going to get this? Chat. Yeah. Chat is a sausage fest. No, no girls in chat. Okay. Slavers. Notice how it's job and tech, not programming. Yeah. Yeah. Dude, Reed, she's okay. Relax, Reed. Whenever I see her videos, I skip them instinctively. I hope she says something useful. I don't know what she says. It doesn't. Step one is to get a tech job because a blonde woman. Exactly. You see the marketing strategy. So you're gonna be like first day in life. You're like, how do I get a tech and how do I get a tech in a job? Can I get a tech in a job? Having a stroke. It's like yeah, Reed, relax. She was okay. Okay, she was a nice looking lady. No, but the you're gonna wake up. You're gonna be like, okay, how do I get a fucking tech in a job? And and then you're gonna look at that video and you're like, wow, you know what's crazy? Turns out tons of blonde girls work in tech. I'm gonna spend $100,000 to get a degree in something I'm not particularly good at or interested in because I want to be closer towards the pussy. And then you spend 4 years doing that. And then you know what happens after that? Let's look up depression. Now, what is depression? What is depression? That's Bard. That's Bard. What is depression? Because you're like, I applied, I got this job I hate so I can meet a girl. And I applied to 1,000 jobs, and everyone said no, you suck. And now I have depression is a common and serious medical illness that negatively affects how you feel, the way you think, and how you act. Fortunately, I like how they're like, fortunately, it's also treatable. Depression causes feelings of sadness and or loss of interest in activities you once enjoyed. You're like, I used to like coding. You're like, I used to like life. It can lead to a variety of emotional and physical problems that can decrease your ability to function at work and at home. Are you a 2Xer? Are you feeling sad or having a depressed mood? So the symptom is having a depressed mood? Dude, psychiatrists, they need to learn what science is. I can't. I have a blonde fetish. That's funny. But no, it's like, dude, just fortunately, depression can be cured with alcohol. Depression can be cured with literally just paying attention more. You know how depression would be cured? Captain Hindsight. Let's look at this. You know how depression can be cured? I'm gonna cure my depression in 5 seconds. Okay, imagine I'm depressed. I'm like, how to get a job in tech with no experience. Search this on YouTube because I'm depressed. And I look at and I'm like, you want to cure depression right now? I look at the videos here. Yeah, that's more so what the guy looks like. That guy right there. That's a tech bro. Okay, so they don't even show the video anymore. I'll find another one. This feed has 3 girls in it so far. Has anyone worked in tech? That's 50. That's a more than 50% of the feed so far. Okay, so I look at this video. She's like, "How to get a tech job with no experience and no degree without being a software engineer?" Oh, well, I don't know what the fuck. So she's not even a software engineer. But all right, I'm like, wow. So I'm gonna solve my depression real quick. Wait a second. Oh, this is marketing. I'm not gonna, huh? They're trying to make things seem more appealing to me. You know what I'm not gonna do? I'm not gonna get into $100,000 in debt. I'm gonna use that money and I'm gonna put that somewhere else. I'm gonna get a gym membership and work out, and I'm gonna not spend money to meet women. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna talk to one in real life. You get it? I just cured everyone's depression right there. Instead of clicking the video, I just thought about what the video meant. And then I took my money and I didn't put it into bullshit. I put it somewhere that helped me. Well, money doesn't cure depression, but I sure Tiff can cure my depression. Okay. Depression and having dedicated passion about the STH, not probably they exist in the same body. Having dedicate about something. Oh, interesting. So, Ghost in the Machine, you're saying having a dedication and passion uh, is sort of like someone who has a dedication and passion can't be depressed. Yeah. You could simplify it to purpose. If we went back to tribalism, these issues would not exist. Yeah. Damn, Jay, you're telling some hard hitting facts today. Dude, people need to fucking hear it. People need to hear it. You're not going to get this anywhere else, dude. That's what I'm doing. I'm like, this is for the few, not the many. You see these videos, you see like, let's see. You see like this guy, like how I broke into tech at 21 with no experience. This is for the many, okay? This is a wide net. He's casting a wide net. He's like, and that's good. I'm not trying to hate on him, okay? He's casting a wide net. Okay? Because a lot of people want that. A lot of people want to break into this young and with no experience and do well, right? It's a wide net. So I don't cast a wide net. This is for the few, not the many. Okay. My videos like you suck. Don't even click on the video. If you click on the video, you're gay. That's my that should be the title of my next video. I was like, well, I'm not gonna click on that. I'm not gonna click on that video. Certs to land a role? RCE. So RCE, you drunkenly come in the chat and you're like, hey, what certs do I need to land a role? RCE, the whole video, is against what you're saying right now. It's not about the certs. It's about providing a service. Doesn't matter how many certs you are. If you were needed by simply knowing JavaScript, it would not be hard to get a job. If people needed JavaScript developers right now, you would not be having a hard time getting a job. It's not about the certs. It's not about the tutorials. It's not about any. I know. I'm fucking with you. I know you're sober, RC. I'm starting to realize about all these YouTube videos. But what about the educational videos? If you want to learn to code, I feel like you get free content. Oh yeah, no, I'm not shitting on. By the way, I'm mostly saying you can. I'm mostly just pointing out marketing techniques. All of them, or you won't get hired. Obviously, yeah. If that's the next title, I'm clicking on it in 0.001 seconds. No, next video title is if you click, you're gay. That should be a series like like if you laugh, you lose. It's like if you click this video, you're gay. And the thumbnail is just like something like a little gay. Like it's like a little like it's not like full on because then that's not funny. But it's like something where it's like I get like a guy in rollerblades and like a tank top, and you're like, "Ah, that's a little like just the full." And then like people look at my channel and they're like, "Oh yeah, what does Jared the Coder do? That's cool. That's interesting. That's oh yeah, let me." And it's just like a full feed of like, if you click this, you're gay. Huh? So he's a horrible person. They're like, "Oh wow." If YouTube algo recommend that type of video to you, you're gay. Yeah, it's true. It's like if YouTube recommends kind of gay videos, then you're gay. Uh, only 10xers. That's the real test. Only 10xers watch Share the Coder. Exactly, dude. This is for the few, not the many. This is for the few. See, like these guys, like they're trying to like get everybody, and I get it. But I'm trying to find crushers. I'm like Bob, like just bobbing around. He's a crusher. Reed's a crusher. I'm not like there's other crushers too, but it's like there's like I'm trying to cultivate a 10x culture because if the 10x culture isn't cultivated, it will fade away, and you're just gonna have Deloitte girl here with no experience. You're gonna have Andrew Tate talking about sales jobs are the best jobs you can. Sales jobs aren't bad jobs. Sales jobs aren't bad jobs. Honestly, a lot of people would just be better off getting into sales. Spit straight up. Yeah, it's like how to get a tech job without being a software engineer, without like doing hard work. Let's just fucking troll these. It's like this dude, this guy right here. Like, okay, okay, like this. If I click this, you know what that means. What is the title of this? How to dude? This is like the this just offended me. Swear to God, I always say I'm like I have thick skin. I just got triggered. I just got triggered. This guy just triggered me. I just got triggered. This is like what I'll see when on my this before like death. This is hell. Hold on a sec. It keeps. This is hell. Like this is not good. We're not in a good. Okay, we got to burn it all down. Just kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding. I know a Fed just fucking like was like, oh, listen, I love all the things, and I don't want anything to burn except this thumbnail. Let's just fucking let's just. This is a problem. Get paid to learn. You know what getting paid to learn is? Getting paid to learn is like one of like you that's like a you were born fucking yet like you weren't even just born yesterday. You're in the womb. If you fall for get paid to learn, you're an embryo. Get paid to learn. Jesus Christ. The Google Tech program for can you can you crush it in consulting? Yeah, you can definitely crush it in consulting. I worked in sales and the work environment was pretty hype. Every day was fun. Dude, yeah. And like most people that get into tech just get like a basic sales job. Google Tech program for UX, probably. Yeah, I think it is. Dude, if I had a thumbnail like that, that's when shit, I'm on something. I like someone call the family. Gade. I'm fully convinced that sales is one of the worst white collar jobs. Sounds very boring. No, dude, people who do sales seem to be having a great time typically. The have you heard of Google's requirement of the Googleyness mindset? It's the most ironic thing I've ever learned about. The Googleyness mindset. What the fuck is that? You're kidding, right? Not a thing. The Googleyness mindset? No. This is real? This is a real thing? Look at this shit. Wait. This is real. So Google has have you consented? Have you bent the knee to HR? Go call your local HR and apologize for what you did. You know what you did. There's a lot of confusion about Googleyness and how it shows up during the Google interview. It really starts with Google's motto, do the right thing. Okay. What a fucking nonsense. What a nonsense motto. Do the right it's like, yeah, okay. Like do yeah, okay. It's like that's it. Like do the right like that's like kindergarten talk. All these like companies, the bigger a company gets, the more it talks to everyone like a toddler. Do the right thing. It's like I'm a grown man. You pay me to solve problems here. It's like you don't have to fucking tell me to do the right thing. Okay. Specifically, some concepts you will want to consider when thinking about Googliness are positive. I like how these are just concepts. It's not like things to do. They're just like like one's just positive. It's not be positive, it's just positive. What if like shit hits the fan? Or like what if someone's like sexually harassing people? It's like, are you positive then? You know what I mean? It's that's not like what like optimistic. Is that what you mean to say? Like like I feel like they need to be more specific. Okay, friendly. Okay. Friendly is a good team player. Yeah. Transparent. Well, I'm sure that I'm sure that doesn't that's a one directional thing if you catch my drift. Lifelong learners, respectful, value honestly I like these. I like these. Positive freak me out a little bit. Playful, emotional intelligence. That's an HR term. You'll hear that a lot. Typically, it means know things, understand subtleties. Uh, like don't say true things if it hurts someone's feelings. Uh, Gender. Here we go. Let's bite this pill. Now you know what this stream's really about. All workforces are made of he's, she's, and people that identify as gender neutral or non binary. Strong start. So it is important to not constantly refer to an engineer, salesperson, or CEO as he. Why not she? It will instantly communicate gender bias and downtick your. What if you only referred to everyone as like she or as like Zed? Isn't that gender biased? and downtick your success rate. Wait, your success rate and at what? It shows that when you are working with others, you're always considering inclusivity. How could you always do that communicating to people? Imagine like taking care of like five small children and you have to always like you can't like everyone has to deal with the same shit even if one kid fucks up. I guess that's kind of how moms work, but it's like not like let's say if you have like an actual job, like you have to actually solve a problem and like one guy and you're managing a team of people and one guy's fucking up. Yeah, that inclusivity isn't really appropriate in that situation. Political correct dude, this is a whole fucking thing. This is a whole thing. Yeah, exactly. Emotional intelligence. Uh, don't make fun of trans people. Exactly. Jared, you shouldn't talk like this about Google. Matrix would definitely punish you otherwise. Eh, I don't care, honestly. Someone's got to do it. What, so everyone's going to suck? Like, I know what you're saying, but it's like, so now everyone has to suck. You know what I mean? Like, that's what, like, I'm not even mad about it. Like, because it's like, you're right. I'm just like animated, but it's like, that's like, that mentality is why, dude, there's so many people that work at these jobs that I know that like you'll talk to them afterwards and they'll be like, dude, this company fucking sucks. And they'll be whispering to you. And I'm like, dude, why are you whispering? We're not even at your job. So it's what's this quote? Quiet desperation. Dude, people gotta talk about how fucking retarded shit is publicly. And I've set up my life so I can't really be fired now. So that's the main reason why I'm doing it. This is Henry David Thoreau. It's just some fucking guy from a long time ago. The mass of men lead lives of quiet desperation. What is called resignation is confirmed desperation. Pop up. Now I'm resigning. No. From the desperate city, you go into the desperate country and have to console yourself with the bravery of minks and muskrats. A stereotype but unconscious despair is concealed even under what is called the games and amusements of mankind. There is no play in them, for this comes after work. But it is a characteristic of wisdom not to do desperate things. The mass of men lead lives of quiet desperation. They're hiding. Dude, you know how many people at Google hate everything I just said? Because like because when things like this aren't said in public, how retarded the pronoun things is, when it's not said in public, everyone thinks it's the majority. So then you feel depressed. And we go back. Then you look out in the world, you're like, the world sucks. No, no one likes this shit. The majority, I would bet money, just knowing how these companies work, the majority of people at Google think all this talk is stupid. That's what I do. This is my job, dude. This is my job. I'm gonna fucking tell like it is. When you start the hiring process, they bring you onto campus and they're random people that interact, keeping notes of your Googleyness without you knowing. Is that true, just Bob? Inaction is a weapon of mass. Exactly. When people feel like, are you like fucking with me, just Bob? They actually like check your Googleyness. I mean, I believe it, but or like when you're not looking. But a good solution for higher Googleyness rates is to go straight. The best thing that fits Google culture today. You just like, hey man, let's just fucking cut through all of this. I'll suck your dick right now. The guy's like, what the fuck? And they're like, and you're just like, yeah, no, I read all the stuff on Googleyness. That this is exactly what you guys are asking. This, and then they're like, take him out of here. They're like, take it. They're like, security. I'm like, that's exactly what you guys said. I mean, this is, yeah, I'm being very positive right now. It's like I read the book. Like the one. That's such a funny bit. The one guy that actually read all the like Google pamphlets in the interview, he's like, "Yeah, all right, down to fucking Fox. Let's do it." They're like, "That's not at all what." Oh my god! Not many walk the talk. Jared Puzzle's masses follow the leader off the cliff. Maliki, you got me there. You got me there. You got me there. Jared plus plus. That's funny. No, but it's true though. Like you can't. It's like there's no like if you don't see like in I like you can I will die on this cliff on this hill. The majority of the people that work at FAANG companies think the he him pronoun stuff is stupid. You don't think that, and that's something that and I'm sure the majority of people that are like the percentage is higher of people that are about it now. Majority of people think it's stupid. I would bet money, but you don't because it looks like you look at these. I saw one video. It was like Spotify. Dude, what was this video? Inclusivity or something. It was like I know a lot of people don't like this talk. I know a lot of people, but like it's got to be done. You got to rip the band-aid off. You can't just have a society without without confronting these things. Yeah, which video was it? Dude, I saw a Spotify video that was like, I was like, I don't know what the fuck is going on right now. I don't think I'll be able to find it. Spotify values. I don't even think you guys can hear this. It's got to be said. Can you guys hear this? I don't think you can hear. Whoa. I don't think you guys can hear this. Let's see. Yeah, I think it's the Inclusion Summit. Peace chat. See, that's crazy that you're not joking about that. You guys hear this? What? Did you hear that? No, you can't hear it? Oh, that sucks. Hold on a sec. Ah, fuck it. She said you can't hear it. All right. So she said, let's go into settings. She was like, so ridiculous. How do I gotta, I think I got a video. Is the audio fucked up now? All right. Let's listen to this. This is, it clips out. Did you hear the stream kills itself when you watch YouTube? Really? All right. Let's put this, it clips out. All right. You guys hear that? I like the fucking beat. You hear that?
Snowdemans. I'm the global head of
I'm
diversity and
waiting.
inclusion, and soon to be diversity
RC, didn't she
engagement. We're
leave?
excited to have Bring One Be One as the
You
approach
can
to
hear it
this
now?
year's inclusion summit. There is a lot of engaged.
So she said that they changed it from diversity and inclusion to, I think, diversity and belonging. Uh, Imagine having a culture. This is your culture, by the way. If you're in America, this is the culture that's happening. Not trying to be a dick, but this is like growing. That's true. I'm not being a doomer at all. You know, we have to confront it to win. You get it? But like, this is happening. Imagine having a culture where you say diversity inclusion and people are like, hey, 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 hey. Inclusion inclusion's insensitive. We're gonna change it to belonging. And hey, you wanna know why people
Highly
fucking killing
evolved
themselves?
people in their diversity and inclusion journey here at Spotify.
You want this job. You want this job. You're like, I would S a D to 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 work with these allies. Think about how fucked up that is. That's not even your fault. Like that's society. That is kind of society. Or it was the parents and grandparents, you know. Our society's set up in a way where like this is the best job.
We wanted to empower them to bring someone with them who they either see as an ally or who could be allied with.
Okay. What is an ally? They should need to define these terms.
Hi, I'm Benita. I'm on Partner Solutions based in New York.
I'm Jenny Hoffman. I'm a global creative strategist on Partner Solutions based in Los Angeles.
Girl power
Ally,
shirt.
to me, is the embodiment of empathy and humility. So it's actually taking the time to put your pride aside and step into a situation that might make you feel uncomfortable, but will enable you to better understand what people are going through.
I think an ally is a supportive.
Wait a second. Allyship is both about empathy and humility and not having pride. Now let's go 5 seconds before. Now, this is why words matter. This is why words matter, people. Look at this shirt she's wearing. Girl power. Where's the humility? There's a lot of pride right there. You see why, like, this is why you need to have, like, rules. This is why you need people saying the truth in public, because people like this will just, like, say nonsense. By the way, she got the coding job that you want. You know that coding? You like crushed your boot camp or your school. You were like you were like, man, and then you applied and you didn't know that being a white guy was the only thing. They looked at the race. I'm being a little extreme there, but it's like this she you think she had a problem getting this job? She was grinding lead code? She was not grinding lead code. I promise you she didn't grind lead code. And I am shaming. I'm shaming. DEI to DEB, the march of progress never ends exactly. It's like if there's anything allyship is about is humility. Girl power. All right, let's get rid of these buffoons.
Understand what people are going
These
through.
and
I
these
think,
people
an ally is a
love to
supportive
talk
who
shit.
lives, breathes, and shares those experiences with you, even if they're not necessarily facing it directly. They're helping.
If someone shares experiences with you that they're not facing, they're probably trying to take advantage of you. To honestly just change your race and application, what are they gonna do? Tell me I'm not black. Yeah, if you're having problems, like I honestly forget the entire video. This entire video I was trying to tell people like how to really methodically look at the macroeconomics and supply and demand and try to, have agency and find value. If you want to get a job, literally just say you're a victim. Say you're Latinx, trans, binary, non-binary, and you're like complaining about not getting a job. Are you stupid? I put I'm Native American and spoke three languages on my SAT. I think I did that too. I am like technically a little native, but not anything significant. Um, like an eighth. I chose to never include my race nor gender. Yeah, because it's stupid. How is this possible? This video has 3,500 views and at the same time being published by a channel having 1.6 million subs. They have 1.6 million subs. You know why? Because this no one like they had to turn the comments off. They had to turn the comments off because this isn't about like you gotta understand how these people operate. They care about virtue. They care about so it's not about and being an ally. I'll just answer the question. It's not about humility or empathy or anything like that. It's about feeling like you're better than other people. It's about playing victim to get things. That's it. Because the in the video, Miss Girl Power doesn't understand that she's a walking contradiction. So do you think this is about making a point? A logically consistent. It's not about making a logically consistent point. It's about being better than people. That's it. Inclusion and belonging. Absurd. Such a valuable video. Honestly, this is the best video on YouTube. How many of these videos are there? Google inclusivity. By the way, this is like you wanted your tech job. Just pretend like you're trans. You'll get it. I've been it. I won't say the company because I'll get, I will one day, but I'm waiting for this bomb. I won't say the company, but one company was trying so hard to fit, and we were really interviewing, trying to fill the job. They're trying so hard to fill in this software engineering role that was literally needed. Like we literally needed a senior engineer. We needed a senior front end and a senior back end, mid level to senior back end. He was like, "Okay, I hear you." The engineering manager. But you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna make it so this role we have to fill also has to be a woman. By the way, I have no hate, obviously. This is about making a point. There's women that could do the job. We interviewed some of them. They were all hired by Google. The reality is when they were trying to hire for that role, they were only because this was like not a Google level tier company. They were only able to get like the worst candidates. But they had to fill the role. So he kept that senior role became a mid-level because they'd get girls that didn't know JavaScript to be senior front end. Like swear to God, like I had to interview the people. And they kept there eventually it was a junior role. No point in hiring it at all because we needed a senior. But they had to get a girl. And you know what they did in the end? They didn't hire anybody because by the time It took so long for them to fill that role because it had to be a woman that they didn't have the budget for the role. It went somewhere else. Lessons learned. The lesson here is not uh it's not about hate. It's not about any of that. It's that you just need to get the job done. That's it. You're a business. You're not it's not a fucking daycare center. This isn't a like everyone needs to feel good. And you know what you do every time you do that? All the minorities. Like I would go at the company, I'd be like, "Wait, do you guys just hire me because I'm black? So you just hire people because they're girls? You get it? You see, it's a like you the it's cyclical. The victim becomes the abuser. Like you, they play these games and eventually they suck. Like Bard kind of sucks. Gemini, like what is this shit? You can't build shit like this. This is signs of a falling nation, not a rising nation. A rising nation is like, what can you do? A rising company is like, hey, are you a crusher? Are you highly skilled? We need you like back 50 years ago, if a dude 60 fucking years ago, not even 50, if a dude was really good at something like you'd have like people invest being like, "Oh shit, we gotta the government would be like, we gotta fucking get him to work on a bomb." The country would used to invest into talent. Now they invest in feelings. Like you shouldn't have to be like grinding leak code to get a fucking job. It's like it's crazy, dude. Absolutely insane. I've I put I'm native right. I remember I missed one comment here. I want to shout out somebody. Yeah, Jared, what do you think about this YouTuber Pirate Software? He's popping up on my feed a lot these days. He gives advice on tech. Dude, I love Pirate Software. Love it. I've been seeing that dude in my feed. He's awesome. He's this like ex Blizzard hacker crusher dude. Dad was at Blizzard for like 20 something years. I love his whole just make games thing. He's like just make games. I love that shit. Definitely watch. I mean, you probably already see it in your feed. Definitely watch that guy. That guy crushes. I get it. Not everyone likes that. There is a thing where not everyone likes the this talk like this, but this is like real. This is real shit. Like you want a society that cares about like competence. That like you worked hard and you got the thing. You want culture where people are like, "Hey, you're dumb in public because you're dumb because you hire for things that don't matter." And you talk down to people that because they're white males. I think people are waking up to it. What do you guys think? I think overall things are getting better. I feel like things are getting a little better. This hopefully. I choose to yeah. Solid observations. It's so funny, honestly. All in build, building accessible, and this is great if like this mentality is great if you're like taking care of very small children. Why inclusive teams deliver better ideas and stronger outcomes? Hey, they're gonna make a rebuttal. It's only fair for me to look at their rebuttal.
I've always
It's
championed
only
diversity
fair.
and inclusion because the ideas are better and it's more fun.
Why are diversity
I
and
champion
inclusion
diversity
important?
and inclusion in the industry because I believe in the difference between the people that we have, their experiences, their backgrounds, their insights, their philosophies. That's where imagination lives, and that's where true creativity is born.
When a diverse team is both behind the camera and in front of the camera, the product is 100 times better.
Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Where did they find this lady? Did she just stumble in? Is she drunk? Jared, you ever do game programming? Game programming's. I gotta release the video. When I was 12, I made. It got like 70 some thousand views. The first I had a YouTube back then. It was how to make a shooter game in Blender. I was super into game shit. That's how I kind of learned a lot of this stuff. It was hacking and game shit. Hacking. I was not I was a script kiddie back then. I was like a baby Xer. I was a point oh zero Xer. So she says it's 100 times better.
Projects where there are people with very good intentions but just aren't connected to the community. So the secret to that is making sure that at every point within the creative process that we are so inclusive and diversified and everybody's opinion
Doesn't she seem like she has like crystals? One of those
matters and
ladies?
everybody's voice is heard.
More and more research these days.
Everyone's
is-
voice doesn't matter the same. That's very clear. Some people have more experience and they're better. So they should be heard more. Oh, this is Google, by the way. This is the culture that you're trying to crawl your way into.
I've always championed diversity and inclusion.
Because they're drawing on different life experiences to bring their ideas to the table. The ideas are fresher, and also the work is more authentic and more relatable to the audiences that we target. I think, though, if
There it
you
is. There it is. Here's it actually. So she's like, when we have diverse teams, the products are more targeted to who we're targeting. There's a sort of weird, dark reality to this. You want to hear my big fucking idea here? There's sort of like a twisted kind of dark reality to this. That's not even really wrong. Because you could be like, so Google is an American company. So this is what's happening right now. This is why this is actually like not like this is kind of where how things go the way capitalism works. And I'm not anti-capitalist. I'm not trying to say anything like that. But this is a reality to this. This is why I was talking about bureaucracy and all that. Because Google, an American company whose market cap is or market value is significant in the American economy, they have a global mission. You go to every FAANG company, I've already done it, so trust me on it. You go to every FAANG company's mission statement, it's all global. Every single one. So what happens when you have to cater to every little different type of person everywhere? Eventually you kind of become this like, oh, like everything becomes super abstract and about feelings. There's an argument to that where it's like they're just like they need, and then they, you know, and then eventually your country gets overrun by other people, you know. Not trying to get too political, but that's kind of like the end goal of this. Like you get these massive internet data companies that are servicing the world, and then they use the money they get from that to build their culture and the culture of the country they're incorporated in based on the whole world. So you kind of, it's like diffusion. Your country's culture just becomes the world's culture, which is nothing because there's no world culture. It's an interesting thought. It's like, I can't imagine working for an engineering job then having to listen to these people. I've done that. I've never had bias training. I remember people would be like, at one company that they were like, "Oh, did you do the bias training?" I was probably the only black guy in the building, and I was like, no. And also, that's dumb because are you a child? You need to be told about bias. Like these companies like handhold like people like children. Like there's like you work hard your life to be babied in a cubicle. Maybe don't do that, you know? It's all good. All right. You've heard me rant long enough. You've heard me rant. And also, we're just having fun. If your feelings got hurt, it's not on me. I have an email. You can email all your complaints. I know everyone's cool here, right? I'm just kidding. Any other questions? My phone. I just realized my audio is probably super weird. Matters. Those people don't matter. Those people don't matter. Ugh. You can still get it. I'm not trying to be a doomer, by the way. Like, just don't work at these companies. Because right now we're at a point where a lot of cool people are actually starting companies that don't do this shit. So you don't have to work at like Google. Google kind of sucks. They do, but man, like there's a dude. Google doesn't kind of suck. Google does suck, like straight up. I would never work at Google. I remember they used to always email me about jobs, and I would just send them to my friends because it just freaked me out. The it's very culty. The cool thing about Google is they have a lot of free food. That's really cool. Remember, I would have to fucking pay at the times. I was like, really? You guys like this isn't free? Don't you guys get that like Harvard money? Like, come on. No, there's hope though. Like this shit isn't like that bad. By the way, this shit isn't even like a big deal. The real problem is if no one says it and makes fun of it, and then everyone just thinks the world sucks, and everyone's just like overly sensitive and annoying. So then you have the young guys who are like, I don't even want to fucking do anything, or I don't want to work at this fucking company. No, dude, I know the people at this company think this. Like, a lot of dudes think this is stupid. A lot. But what are they going to do? They're going to quit. You know, they have a family. You know, they're going to fucking call it. No, they're just like, and I'm not even like going to say that that's pussy or like stupid. It's like I get it. But I've been setting up my life in a way where I don't have to like deal with that. So I'm gonna make fun of it. Like it's like that's you don't like if you have your company set up, like if you really want to get a job in tech, dude, make these people happy. No, you don't have to work hard. Make this lady, oh, I turned my audio off, but make this lady happy. The president of GLAD, whatever that is, the diversity inclusion specialist. Just make that lady happy. Be a victim, right? Or you can go and make your own job. You can go find value, be an entrepreneur. Like try to solve a problem. You're made to. As a guy, you're literally made to build. You're built to fucking crush. So do it. Like make shit happen. If it's not like don't apply to 1,000 fucking jobs. Are you dumb? No, you should have applied to 10 been like, oh, that didn't work, and then you should have changed something, and then you should have applied to 100 or whatever, and they've been, oh fuck, I'm clearly something's fucked up. My goal is to save for my cabin in the woods. Oh, all right. That's what matters. I need to follow these people. Has to, and I'm skilled at fucking comedy. But these comedians, you'll look at their stuff. I don't watch movies anymore. I'm like, you guys aren't gonna fucking say it. You get it? I wish there was more large scale, ambitious, original projects besides the recent AI hype. I feel like, what the fuck? Why am I? Oh, DJ Pressure. I'm glad you came in at the right time. How am I lagging? The fuck? Hello. I'll be. Oh, sorry. YouTube's throttling the stream. How's it right now? Is it okay? Am I running anything? Don't know if it's better. I may have been used to know possibly. So it's fighting. Sucks. I'll be back. Oh, am I here? Am I back? Am I back? Are we here? Good now? Huh. I don't know what the fuck that was about. I don't know what I was talking about. It's the dude, it's definitely the Matrix. Stream starts lagging. I'm getting a little too fucking bass, getting a little too frisky. No, but Will was saying I wish there were more large scale. There's yeah. Uh, to, to be continued. To be continued. I feel like I'm still lagging, so I'm just gonna. All right, guys. Overall, I don't know what's going on, but it was good. Okay, I do want to still talk about the job highly suggest you understand that to 1,000 jobs and be like 100 or something, and then you're like, oh, I gotta change. Get out grind supply and demand. So what you should do is position yourself to know more about the demand and talk to people, talk to more business owners, network more, try to find where you can be of service rather than think you need these things. It's like you don't need. It's like yeah, maybe you need it, but it's like that doesn't change the reality. What do people need? Get good at that and make yourself known. All right, that was a good stream. Very fun. We had fun. I'll see you guys. Adios. So we can continue the convo in Discord.